We are live. Hey there, everyone. This is KT. I sure hope you can hear me. Otherwise, this is going to be a little awkward. How is everyone doing? This one's still charging. Hope it's okay. How's that framed? Let's get to like a white screen. Yeah, that's probably fine. Is that fine? That's probably fine. Really quick though, I got something else to share with you guys. This is gonna be so sick. I'm so satisfied with this. Give me 1 minute. Ba-dum. We're in. This will be brief. Should probably check the chat, see if anyone's here. I'm just rambling to myself. Yo, we got a party. We got a crew. Yo. Triad Green, I believe that's Kit Kat Mac. Welcome. Very good luck. Very cool ribbon match. Yeah. Appreciate the good luck. You are not going to believe what I was just about to show off. Got some early KT activities. It's true. Got Sandy with the salute. What is with my mouse? My mouse is not cooperating today. Some people didn't get the memo that Safari Summer. Exactly. I'm here all summer. I don't know what this. Oh, we're going to stop at the end of the week. There's no way. All right, check this out, lads. I'm so satisfied with this. Don't worry about the breeding egg stuff. That doesn't matter. What we're going to do, really quick. Oh, wait a minute. Is this even capturing my audio? That's a good point. I don't remember the DS capture card thing. No, it's capturing me. Yeah, no, I'm a dumbass. Check it out. Once I find him, check it out. It's my shiny Metagross, right? This is the one in the Premier Ball. This is the really, really nice IV one. He's got 26 ribbons. That's the most ribbons he's able to have as a non-shadow Pokemon. So we go to ribbons, go to 1990X. Look at that. Oh yeah, we got everything. I just wanted to share. Just wanted to show that off. This is a very recent thing. This only. Oh jeez. Was it yesterday or was it the day before? Yeah, it was yesterday. Yesterday is when I finished the Battle Tower. Battle Tower level 100 mode. Very lame, very annoying. It turns out you have to like cheat the game back. I had to use a substitute Destiny Bond Gengar, and it kind of felt like cheating at times. The AI doesn't really know what to do when you're behind a sub, so the AI will continue to use like Growl or Thunder Wave, a move that just doesn't affect you because you're behind a sub. So the trick was just get Gengar behind a sub, and then we can win most fights. Oops. Yep, perfect. We're off to a great start. Let's just catch Slowpoke. Exactly what I was. Let's get him. Let's just get him, too. Yeah. Appreciate it, Jacob. I think in the future, if I'm going to go for other Ribbon Masters, they are not going to be getting their level 100 ribbon in the Emerald Tower. I think they will be getting it in Ruby, where it is a whole lot easier. Oh god, okay, I guess we got a Slowpoke. Nice. 69 HP, very cool. I feel like that's quiet. I'd have to check. Oh well, I don't think this Slowpoke is going to be with us for too long. Oops. Get everything into position. Yeah, I think we're good. We're good to go. we put it on random tonight? Let's just put it on random. Use the usual playlist. You could. That is true. You could do level 60. I don't really know how much that would change, to be honest with you. But yes, you could do level 60. I suppose the damage values would be a little bit more favorable. Everyone's just doing a little bit more damage. Everyone's like slightly bulkier at level 100. But it's fine. So how's everyone doing tonight? I caught a little bit of the Riley stream, but I haven't seen the clip yet. Apparently he got a shiny Sea King, which is pretty killer. There we go. Our first Tauros of the night. Really gotta change my Steam settings. So Steam doesn't launch whenever I turn the computer on. Oh my god. I'm dying. My throat's killing me. The air quality here is really not good right now. The wildfires have caught up to us. Hang on. Do I have a way to show this? No, it isn't on this computer yet. That's right. I've got the video files ready to start editing the Metagross video. Yes, yeah, exactly. It's the Battle Tower catch. I am so glad that the Battle Tower one happened to have good IVs, because I would still, like, really love it. I would think this is so cool I got to do this glitch, even if it had, like, trash IVs. But the fact that it had, like, really strong IVs, I knew I have to, like, do something with it. I've taken him through Mount Battle. He's done all his contest stuff. So, yeah, he's just the best. Didn't this song get me the copyright strike? Hang on. Hang on. Everyone be cool. No, maybe we can't do the random playlist tonight. Oh, jeez. Let's try this game. I haven't actually played this game. It is a little noisy. But I've heard numerous tracks, though. They're very good. I'm not sure if we're gonna find the shiny tonight. I'm feeling pretty neutral, to be honest with you. Some days I just wake up and I know, yeah, I got a grind encounters today. It's gonna happen. Yeah, the 100 battles. Excuse me. Lads, I'm dying. Yeah, the 100 battles in Coliseum, it is a long, long trek. And what's even worse is the second one. The one that you do in the, like, battle menu to actually unlock Ho-Oh. Because the story one isn't that bad. The story one's, like, pretty quick. I think I did it in one stream, and it was just a little over 4 hours. So, you know, it's a grind, but it's not that bad. But the battle mode, that one is way worse. Because it asks you, like, VGC style, which Pokemon do you want to bring every single time? And then when you're done, it asks you if you want to save. You say no. You walk a little bit in the game. It asks you if you want to save, and you say no again. It's just the worst. I probably should stream that one, just to try and make it a little bit more fun, because I'm never looking forward to the unlocking Ho-Oh mount battle. But I do need to take Metagross through there as well. And then I'll have all the video footage I need. I just double tap. Should turn on the humidifier. It's feeling pretty dry right now. There we go. Humidifier's on. Now I'm able to breathe. Hey. So I experimented a little bit last night when I was doing this hunt. I was trying to throw rocks at Tauros to see like what's the success rate. And it really does feel like a coin flip whether he'll leave or not. So that is frustrating. You know, maybe in the moment I'll think I will throw a rock at a Tauros. I'm kind of doubting that. Okay, you know what? Just an experiment. How do you two feel about a rock to the head? You both stay. Okay, maybe that's a sign. Maybe that's a sign that if we do run into it, we have to rock. And Tauros again on the same game. I don't know, lads. That's a pretty convincing sign. That feels pretty good to see Tauros this frequently. Ah. this is getting out of hand. We're just throwing rocks at everyone. I think I will be having coffee with milk, if that's alright with everyone. Double Doduo. Yeah, I'm not sure what to think about my shiny Doduo. He's got the best nature you could want for a Doduo. But when I tried using him in the tower, his damage output was just not quite what I would hope for. And that was with a choice band, and that's like probably the best you can do with a Dodrio, is a banded set. Because he's too squishy for any other kind of setup, and even then, what is the plan? Like, agility, you're already really fast. See, we're seeing a lot of Tauros. This is supposedly 6% with this repel trick, but we are seeing a boatload of Tauros. Yeah, you guys are Martian. Are you still doing a bug catching contest, Jacob? I think you were doing bug catching still. We had to do research and find out if Pinsir and Scyther would ever dare go to the other one's nest. Yeah, Korean browser games. I have unbelievable soundtracks. Which device? Okay, that's you. Sorry if you guys heard that. That was loud. I'm trying to figure out which device is recording what, you know? Switch back and forth. I don't feel like giving with the clock. Alright, that's fair. You'll be back on. Yeah, you get to check in, what, once a week? Twice a week? Oh, there we go. That's a track I recognize. I do wonder what the next phase is going to be. We're getting uncomfortably close to odds, which, you know, it was bound to happen. Have been on fire for the past few phases. So, not too bummed out. I just don't want another, like, a monster phase. I will gladly take a 12k if that's what it takes. But I don't want to see this, 19, or dare I say it, 20. Anything like that, please. There's thankfully no subtle shinies in the Safari. They're all pretty noticeable, I would say. Maybe Parasect, if you're not really paying attention, but double Tauros. Triple Venomoth, what's happening right now? We're getting wild groups of encounters. Alright, don't get any funny ideas. It's just one step without the repel. Please, I do not need a shiny Venonat. Oh, I just realized. Fool that I am. Probably should post this in Riley's surfer. Probably should alert the gang. Hey, by the way. It's cool. Don't worry about it, guys. This is my first time streaming. There we go. Alerted the crew. Yeah, my bad. I normally do. Normally I'm so prepared. Well, I guess that's not true. Most of my streams are very last minute, but usually we're prepared. Yeah, true. There's some Safari hunters, I believe. This track is insane. This feels like a haunted house. Alright, alright. Let's just abuse the local wildlife. Whoa! This game has 60 tracks. That's crazy. They're all numbered is the problem. They don't have names. Maybe they do internally. So I don't know which are the ones I recognize. Yo, Beef, how you doing? Yeah, hope everyone's doing alright. We're doing pretty good over here. I guess now we're climbing Drower. Maybe there's a reason. I should be using curated playlists more than just put on the soundtrack to a game and say good enough. I also had this plan today. I thought, oh yeah, I'm gonna come up with more playlists for the streams, and that has not manifested. I think if we get another like Psycho track, I'm gonna switch soundtracks. No. Don't knock everything over. Just trying to be cool. The quad egg. hunting 2x in the Emerald Safari looking for Houndor, and bike hopping around in the desert looking for Trapinch. Damn. Respect the hustle. The multi-location hunt was very funny. I do want to do Trapinch at some point. Or really just like anything in the desert. I want Cacnea the most. Oh, but Baltoy would be cool to have. Yeah, I gotta do the desert at some point. And power's out again. Damn, Riley. Hope you're doing alright. I've had numerous power outages lately, so I feel the pain. It is such a hassle having to go and like change the clock on every device in the house. Damn, you got a shiny tar? That's sick. Yeah, that's a big one. Just like, don't even think about opening the fridge. Yeah, shiny tar. That's a good one. It may seem like, why is this a good partner? But I would strongly recommend getting a water type, because tar does not handle water types too well. So you're gonna need someone that can deal with water. He's also really bad into fighting. But the Sand Veil trick is pretty cool. Having Sand Veil to make Cacturn just impossible to hit. Yeah, Starmie's a great fit. If you've watched Beavery's streams before, he's said Bug is like a fake weakness, because there's like 3 Bug Pokemon that are a threat. There's basically no very strong threatening bugs. You know, I guess Scizor Silverwind probably gets the better of Tar. Because, like, what does Tar really do against a Scizor? You need to Rock Slide and hope that you flinch? Earthquake's gonna do, like, 60%, maybe a bit more if you're banded. Yeah. Yeah, Bug is not a very real threat. Now, of course, you shouldn't just scoff at the idea of Heracross. He absolutely can ruin your day. The eggs. They're back. I wouldn't really mind another egg, just in case I like happen to roll one that's better than my Executor. But I'd feel like a traitor boxing Phil She's like the absolute killer in the doubles tower. And I haven't even got any like really good streaks yet. I think I'm at like mid 40s, low 40s. But it's just so fun. Being able to set up Sun and then bring in Eggy in doubles is just a total party. Highly recommend if anyone is shiny hunting here and you get a shiny egg. Very easy to slot Eggy into a doubles team. Oops. Yeah, it's probably best to just retire in some like attempt to keep the games in sync a little better. How close is everyone else? 100, 80, 40. So in a scenario like this, I try and add to the counter every other encounter, even though I'm technically like, there's a spare because it's 3 then 3. I guess there's 2, but as opposed to doing it the other way around, where I'm adding 4 when I actually only encountered 3 Pokemon. To me, it makes a little more sense. Oh, and this one ran out too. Okay, so we'll retire with you. Yeah, bike hopping would be fun. I remember messing with a PK Hex. You can give yourself like items you're not supposed to have, and I feel like the bike in this game is the acro bike. So the bunny hop thing was just disabled, and then the mock bike I think was like dummied out, or maybe it just operates the same. But yeah, being able to bunny hop, that would be so fun. They could also just make Sweet Scent not overwrite Repel. If Sweet Scent didn't overwrite Repel, we wouldn't need to worry about it. You'd Sweet Scent any Repel trick. Yeah, okay, I'll tell you what. That's the only thing I find actually annoying about this. Is like when I need to get everybody back into position again. Sometimes it's easier if they all get kicked out at the same time, but When they don't get kicked out at the same time, you basically just need to soft reset. Never use sweet scent. I guess yeah, I haven't either. I haven't done a sweet scent hunt. I had a idea to challenge a friend of mine to a race, and one of the candidates was Dunsparce, and Dunsparce is one you want a sweet scent because he has a really low encounter rate. Oops. Alright, back to the grind. So if you noticed, I picked up an item on this game, the second leaf green, this one, the one that just got an encounter first. I have yet to keep a shiny from this one, so that item is just going to stay there until we eventually get a shiny Pokemon, because I picked up an item that was in the way, you know? So when this game earns it, he can have whatever that item is. But right now he's not pulling his weight. What even is that? What did I pick up? The max potion. Very important item to have. Oops. Oh my god. I think we are going to switch soundtracks to something a little more high energy. I feel like I'm falling asleep. I don't think I mentioned earlier, this is going to be a bit of a longer stream. I have to go to the airport pretty late tonight to pick up my family, so I'm going to be gaming for a little bit. I had one idea was I was going to just watch anime, but I don't think YouTube is going to like that. I don't think they're going to like me broadcasting the audio or video. So that plan was kind of axed. Plus, I wouldn't be able to even read the chat. It would be full screen, so that isn't going to work too well. Couldn't think of something. We did Showdown one night. We watched Showdown replays. That was kind of fun. So we had, I think it was Veriz and Raven, and they had to like help me figure out how to get the camera to show it. Yeah, for sure. What are you going to watch? I'm not actually sure yet. What do I have that's available? I'm leaning towards Macross. It's like an old robot show. Super beloved, but I have not seen yet. Yeah, most likely Macross, if I was to watch something tonight. I had a friend of mine tell me, like, very vehemently to skip double Zeta Gundam. He said, like, it's so not worth it. Just don't bother. So I told him I would, but I wouldn't watch it. But I'm wondering if I should go back on that now. And just, if I watched it and didn't like it, tell him, yeah, I agree. It was sucked. Because it seems the larger fan base really hates Double Zeta. And I'm unsure why. I'm curious what sins that show committed that piss off the very intelligent Gundam fanbase. I also want to go back to Galaxy Express. But that's like a pretty hard show to stomach. It is super long and very animated from the late 70s. You could tell it had a very small budget. But it's huge. It's like a very long show. Oh, jeez. And the worst part is that it's actually good. It's actually good and worth watching. We're inching closer to that big 8,000. Just hit 35 PP ups. I'm farming the trap inches, leveling and teaming with A-Palms. Major respect for that. I've done that with Linoons. Yep, it's the best way to farm PP ups. You could also get the super rare stuff like a King's Rock or the Max Revive. It's been a while since I did that. Yeah, like I don't know what I even called it. It's sort of like hunting. You're kind of shiny hunting, but you're more like just grinding regular encounters, but making sure you get a KO so that way you roll pickup. Lovely Noon. Have you seen it evolve in Pokemon Snakewood? It's like a furry Rayquaza. Um, I've seen the like black and white Zigzagoons in the new game. But no, I have not seen him evolve in Snakewood. That sounds. That's a ROM hack, isn't it? Snakewood sounds familiar. Just leave my. Okay, phone's here. Is Snakewood a ROM hack? I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, it is. It is a ROM hack. All the Pokemon look like evil and cursed. And then there's like a very normal Entei. That's funny. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, he does. He kind of fused him into Rayquaza. That's good. Sort of looks like a skeleton. That's funny. So on ROM hack was zombies. I played it in high school. Swag. The only Pokemon ROM hack I finished was Brown, and that was like a hack of Gen 1. I remember it being kind of neat though. It does the thing that I wish more ROM hacks did when it's like it's a new region, right? It's like a totally new map. I feel like that draws me in way more than a hack that just like shuffles around what's in the game already, or like tries to rebalance what's in the game. I really like the idea of just like new maps, new caves, new areas to explore, and of course you do the same thing. You make up the roster of Pokemon that'll be there. So if Snakewood is like that, then there's a good sign. Yeah, I don't know how many times I've seen on romhacking.net some other guy made his new rebalanced Fire Red where you can capture every Pokemon in the region. Wow, that's crazy. Big 8,000. Not lucky. Well, I got a feeling we're going to hit odds, lads. This is looking like we're going to be hitting odds tonight. In fact, we're probably going to soar past odds. In fact, we might even hit odds before this rappel ends. Or before my timer in the Safari ends. Nice to know there's some guy in the Safari like counting every time I take a step, just to make sure I don't cheat, don't go too far. So I guess you could, yeah, you could sort of cheat it like that. That's like noticeably slower. And it's also a lot easier when you're holding the device rather than having it laid down like this. Yeah, I should start rocking Tauros again. See how we're feeling. That is 2 on the same game, back to back. Would it run? Okay, I don't know. I'm really starting to think I should rock the shiny Tauros. They're all staying tonight. I don't know what's happening. When I did this yesterday, it was, yeah, about 50-50 they would take off. Tauros is just traveling to each game. Look at that. Next he's going to be on the rightmost game. And this one stayed. This feels like a sign. Is this Tauros? Ah, not quite. Never lucky. It's been quite a while. I used to know all the words to this song, but not anymore, I don't. Alright, let's repel up. Oh, maybe. Maybe we'll hit odds before getting kicked out. We'll have to see. Oops. So I actually am set up. My party, all I would need to do is switch my lead. I have a level 26 Starmie, and 26 is the repel trick you use for Chansey, over in the room with Chansey. So I might consider doing that. I have a layout for it. And it's like most of the same roster. I'm pretty sure Eggy is in every room of Safari. And Nidos. Nidos are everywhere too. But Doduo is missing. Kango's not there. Maybe Venonat's there? I don't remember the layout that well. But that might be fun. Might be fun to try phasing on something in the Chansey room, because I don't have a Rhyhorn. It'd be nice to get a Rhyhorn. Get 3 eggs ready. Will there be a fourth? Oh, not quite. Oops. Please no Venonat. Okay. Always a little nervous. Oop. Alright, lads, this is it. The magic number. Shiny Pokemon is supposed to appear every 8,192 encounters, right? That's the rumor. That's how it goes. So, this is it. This has to be it. What? One moment. Okay, I think we're good. Just get you there. It'd be very cool to have a shiny Tauros to use in the Ruby Tower. I know he probably wouldn't put out the insane damage, but Intimidate, your IVs in nature don't matter. You get every Tauros has Intimidate, which is very good, and like Banded Stab normal move is always really good. That's always awesome to have. So I think even a less min-max Tauros would still be super good. And of course in the Ruby Tower, he's always going to be very good. Once that USB thing comes out, I just need to talk Peter into letting me borrow his shiny Tauros. Borrow it permanently. As I've said before, I think Tauros is the best physical attacker in the game. Now, of course, in the sense of playing against other people, yeah, you should bring Metagross, you should bring Snorlax. There are other physical threats, but Tauros really does just hold his own so well. And in the context of like a doubles, like a Gen 3 VGC style, Tauros is just unmatched. Like, sure, Metagross counters him pretty well, but Metagross is also not outspeeding him, so he'll have to eat an Earthquake, which is rough. There's a new device coming out. It's called the GBA USB Link. GBA Link something. It's like a USB-C on one end and Game Boy Advance trade port on the other end. And there's this online server you can connect to and do like trades with people. And I believe there's a version of the device that's already out there, but the guy who made it's like working on a better one, and he wants that to be the more commercial. So a lot of us are kind of just waiting for that to come out. So it'd be very fun. I also want to try, I should message Amaryllis. Amaryllis has been my partner in a lot of Ore videos. We've done a lot of like competitive Pokemon playing one another. And we use NetPlay on XD, Pokemon XD, so you get to see the 3D models, which is cool. But I've said to him, I really want to try doing a Game Boy Advance emulation so we can see the sprites. And it might be fun to start making videos using that. And MGBA doesn't really have NetPlay settings, which is really surprising. However, this same device apparently has like emulator connectivity. So maybe there'd be a way to do that too. Maybe we can just connect with emulators. There's research to be done. I need to know how this works. It can't be too complicated. Like, uh, emulator netplay is sort of notorious for not being very good. I guess it depends on what you're using. Like, GGPO is great, but if you want to play something that's not a fighting game, you're sort of out of luck, because that's all it is like arcade emulation. And if you want to do like Super Nintendo online, those are pretty rough. Most of the netplay connection settings are not that good. So someone has to make like something a little more standardized, but it would be very fun to have Game Boy Advance online. Yeah, I hope so. I hope the thing works as smoothly as it's advertised. There's some other really cool applications, like, oh, jeez. You can just connect the Game Boy Advance with no game in it, no cartridge, and with this thing, you could flash a ROM to the game, or to the device, so the device would just load any game, which is pretty nuts. Shining Soul 2. Not familiar with Shining Soul 2. Is that a Shining Force game? Is Shining Force... Oops, knocking over the Game Boy. Oh, that sure looks like a Shining Force game. I didn't know they made a Game Boy Advance one. That's killer. Oh, but it sort of looks like, Is it turn-based? Yeah, this looks like it's turn-based. Or maybe it isn't. I will need to investigate this later. I will be keeping that in mind. You never heard of Shining Force? Okay. This looks like it's related. Yeah, it's made by Sega, so it's definitely a Shining Force game. But it almost looks like a top-down Zelda kind of game, like an action RPG. Hmm. Nice. I will be investigating that. I also have a Game Boy Advance flash cart, so any game that I can get like a hack, like any ROM, right? Any ROM out there, so I can experience the game that way. Yeah, that's what it looks like. I I tried the very first one, the Shining in the Darkness, which was like a first-person RPG, and I think if I was to try it now, I'd probably like it. This song, right, and it wasn't even by Konami. But I feel like I would like the Shining Force games quite a lot. They're apparently they were like seen as Sega's response to Fire Emblem. They were like Sega's equivalent. Let's have our own strategy RPG. It's set of playable characters and it's a fun game. It's good to hear. I will be checking it out. Oh. There it is. Little goblin showed up. Of course you're here. Oh, and we're almost out. How close is everyone? 40, 80, 60. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's just ride it out. Not find a shiny on this game. How's it hanging? I'm doing alright, Storm. How you been? As you can see, we're over odds, and you always love when you're over odds. You saw the, yeah, it's on this game? I think it's on this game? Oops, if I could get into the menu. Yeah. There she is. Really is such a nice sprite. I appreciate the congrats. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to evolve this one or not. Its IVs are a little weird. So she's slow and has, like, okay special defense and pretty good special attack. And the trick with the Nidos is that they get basically every good special attack TM. So, maybe there's a chance she just gets boxed, but I would like to do something. I prefer to, like, come up with some type of use for a shiny Pokemon rather than just box them. Except for Zubat. Zubat goes straight to the box. No question about that. How you doing, Storm? How are things? True. That's sort of a funny role. I have plans to take... I have a team of 6 shiny Pokemon that are all from Kanto, and I want to put them into like a new Fire Red save and just play through the game. So I think something like that. Just bring the Nido Queen along as a funny HM user. Assuming she even gets that many. Got kicked out. What? Alright, how close are you two? So your repel just ran out, so let's just everyone get out. Maybe that's the best way to do it, is once one game gets the time over, we just all exit. Everyone gets out. It's been pretty good. You started Heart Gold. Nice. Which starter did you use? I am a tried and true fire starter truther. They use the fire starter in every game. Though I will say, Cyndaquil is my favorite of the trio. Eyes on that first stage pseudo shiny. Those are pretty killer. I know one Japanese hunter has been going for Beldum for like a few years. So I'm planning a pretty cool video for my shiny Metagross, who just last night got the last ribbon, so now he is a ribbon master as far as Gen 3. But in the battles, the battle tower fights, I had one fight I'm gonna have to highlight. because Metagross, he was my lead, right? And I got put up against a really tough team, which was the other three pseudos. It was Tar, Dragonite, Mence, and my Metagross soloed all three. He literally just beat all three by himself. Didn't even take much damage. Only did he get hit? I'd have to watch the footage. I feel like he 3-0'd them. Totodile always love me the monster. Like, yeah, he's like a beast. True, yeah. Well, I guess he wants the flex of like having it in a Safari Ball. Yeah, I appreciate the congrats. I showed a picture of it at the start of stream, but just allow me one moment. We can boot up just again. Hang on. Can you guys still hear me? Of course, now it's the monkey song. Yeah, I know. He had everything going against him. It's, I mean, you know, he matches up really well against Tar, but those other two are actually not the best matchup. Yep, there he is. He's got 26 ribbons. 26. Which, for a non-shadow, that's the most he can have. I'm pretty sure, at least. Maybe some wise guy can tell me, you know, actually, there's this one, you know. Well, yep, we got everything. We got the Coliseum Mount Battle thing, and yeah, this was the hard one to get. And my streak isn't even dead yet, is the funniest part. My streak is still active, so I want to see how far I can get that Metagross in the Singles Tower. We on this one? Yeah, this one. Oh yeah. Very cool. It's a very special Pokemon to me at this point. That's 3 Tauros in a row on the same game. Maybe the green Tauros wants to be caught. Yeah, one of the baby Nidos. Be nice to get one of those shiny. If you reclaim the Tauros, will it become a Ribbon Master? You know, probably. It's hard to say. I don't know at this point. I have a very fond spot for Tauros because he's gotten me so many victories in the Ruby Battle Tower. And I like using him in the competitive versions of Gen 3. So I think Tauros is definitely a strong contender. I don't know why I wouldn't. I guess the distinction is that sometimes I get a shiny Pokemon and they just have like abysmal IVs and stats, and I feel a lot less compelled to use them. Like one problem I have is my Snorlax, right? Shiny Snorlax, really great. He's naughty nature, which is not the worst, but minus special defense on a special defensive wall is not really what you want. And his IVs are pretty bad all around. So I try using him and I try making him work. But maybe that's a good argument for making him a Ribbon Master, actually, because it isn't that hard to get the 50 and 100 ribbon. And then you get to use him in, like, the contests. There's a fun thing. I'll have to see. Maybe. So yeah, I'm not sure. Tauros, it would be fun, though. It would be fun to take him through the contests. I'm sure he has moves that are very fun. Like, I imagine Thrash is a good one. Thrash you can probably use repeatedly. I was just wondering because I've been watching, so Vod's Tauros is a beast, and isn't he? Tauros really has earned his place on the team. He is like the most hardworking of the trio. I appreciate hearing that, though. Yeah, those streams are fun. I want to do more Battle Tower stuff, to be honest. Well, I want to heist another shiny. I want to heist the shiny out of the tower. Just, you know. That's the whole reason we're doing them. But yeah, Tauros, I think he's the best physical attacker in the game. If ever you guys are playing, just like casually, Gen 3, and you're struggling in the frontier, and you have access to Fire Red, just hunt down a Tauros, and then start a breeding chain in Emerald. Because if you can get him with good stats, he really is unmatched. Yeah, one of my favorite interactions is when I go for banded double edge, and it takes out like a big chunk of Tauros's health, and then we double edge the next guy, and then we take out even more, and then we double edge the third guy, and it's like a clean 3-hit KO at the cost of Tauros's HP. Whoa! Speak of the devil, there's 3 of them. All right, let's try our luck. Should I use a rock on the shiny Tauros? 1 flea, 2 stayed. I actually did a little bit of off-stream heisting from the Ruby Tower. I started collecting Metagross with different natures, and I'm happy to report I have a Jolly, which is exactly what you want for Ore, the doubles style. And now I have an Adamant, which is what you want for singles. So I won't even need to use Showdown. I wouldn't need to import from Showdown. I could just use actual Metagross that I stole from the tower. It's been fun, but you're about to fall asleep. Well, I appreciate you stopping by. Best of luck. I hope you enjoy your time in Heart Gold. Who's the version exclusive guy in Heart Gold? Do you get Mantine or do you get Skarmory? It's one or the other. I need to freshen up on Gen 2. It's been so long since I played a Gen 2 game. And you know what'd be nice? You know what'd be nice is if my pal Riley, who is doing a playthrough of Gen 2, if he continued. It would be great. I would love to see a part 3. And I think his next shiny would be like immediately after, so it would be back on hold again. Uh-oh. Did not mean to use the rock. Yeah, I guess now that the hard part is over, maybe I should turn that Politoed into a Ribbon Master. It's been a while since I played Doom. I do sort of wonder what would be games that'd be fun to do a playthrough on the channel that are not Pokemon that might interest the larger Pokemon fan base. And they sort of fall into two categories. You have other RPGs, games that might have a similar mechanic or something else that makes them comparable to Pokemon, and then you have like just non RPGs, games that are totally different and probably wouldn't appeal that much. Like I want to do an Alien Soldier video at some point because it's like a 30-minute game. It's super short. There's so many interesting things about it, and I think the larger Pokemon fan base is, well, I think even the larger game playing fan base, because it's an old game, not that many people are aware of, and it's cool. It's one that I'm actually good at, and it's notoriously difficult, very over the top. Oh, God Hand, that'd be a fun, but that'd be better as a playthrough because God Hand's like way longer and more of like an adventure kind of game. God Hand be a fun one. Yo, what's good, Maractus man? How you doing, lad? That'd be a fun one. I think Doom would also be a fun one because it's like very episodic. Yeah, Alien Soldier is like a total psycho game. It's a very one-of-a-kind experience. To like grossly simplify it, if ever you've played an old arcade game, near the end of the game, a lot of old arcade games would have a boss rush. Meaning, like, you rematch with the first boss, then you rematch with the second boss. And the concept for Alien Soldier was like, what if the whole game was a boss rush? Gonna be lurking and editing a video? Alright, good plan. So the idea is that the game is a boss rush. In the first stage, the first like room of the game, you fight eight. I think you fight 8 bosses in the first like room of the game. And then you get on the plane and then you fight 2, and then that's the end of level 1. Which is really like funny because they say like what round you're on or like what stage, but they count each boss as like a stage even though they're in the level. I know that may sound a little confusing, but when you start the second level, the game says that you're on stage 11 because you've killed the 10 bosses to get to that point. And it's not very long. It's not a very well, it is a very difficult game. I feel like it makes sense though. It's all very intuitive. Yeah, very one of a kind sort of game. What else would be good? There's other RPGs, but the problem with those is that they're very long. If ever I was to torture people with a Megami Tensei playthrough, it would be like a million parts. It would take forever, and there'd be so many videos where I just make no progress at all. That would actually be a nightmare to record, I'm realizing. Yeah, we couldn't do Mega 10. It would be fun, but it would be so bad. It would be a bad idea. Those games, when you can't just save anywhere. You can only save in certain spots, and if you die, there's no continue. You just go back to where you saved last. Planning on playing Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. I believe I've heard of that game. That's the like console Baldur's Gate, right? Maybe there was a PC version, but I feel like I've heard people say that they played that on the PS2. It's also a GBA game. Okay, interesting. I was unaware of that. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky. That's, I guess, the cost of making a Pokemon centric YouTube channel, is that everyone's going to be expecting this franchise. But it might be fun. I'm also interested in trying Atrian Odyssey, which is a series of RPGs on the DS by Atlas. And Atlas made Megami Tensei, which is my favorite series of RPGs. And apparently Atrian Odyssey is like somehow even more difficult, and they're games that don't translate very well off of the DS because you're supposed to use the touchscreen to like draw maps and stuff. But because I have a DS capture card, it might be fun to experience that game. Look at that. We got 4 8s. And I know a friend of mine really likes that series. So if ever I was stuck, he'd be able to unstuck me. He'd be able to tell me what I'm doing wrong. We're going to 10K. I can feel it. I can feel... Oh, and it's probably just going to be Dodo. The damn bird. I got so lucky last phase. I was committed. I was expecting that, yeah, it's maybe going to be a long phase, and it's probably going to be a Dodo. And then I just get jumped by a Nidorina like 5 minutes into hunting. And now I know, same feeling as before. I think it's going to be a while, and it's going to just be a bird. But what is cool is that the bird can learn fly. So if I was to like train up all of the shiny Pokemon I have, I think I'd be able to have like a dedicated flyer that isn't just a clone. It's like a different guy on each game. Probably not though. I own quite a lot. I have quite a few Game Boy Advance games. Oh, do I press my luck with this one? Yeah, it's probably fine. I'll just have to like talk over this song a little bit. Because for whatever reason, Konami songs specifically seem to get the copyright thing. And it isn't from them. That's the annoying part. It isn't from Konami putting out a claim. It's from these like weird re-upload bot accounts. Sort of like they're trying to do the YouTube music thing, right? But it's like somebody else uploading a song they don't own the rights to, and then they get to like have a claim. Because when I got hit by the Castlevania one, it was like a guy that clearly did not own the song. It was like some... I thought it was like a remix or something, but no, the guy just straight up was uploading it and somehow was getting a claim. And maybe that's part of it. That's part of the algorithm game, is that you just set up bots that do that. And if you happen to get lucky, you get people that do, they don't know how to dispute it, then you could run your ads on them, even though you don't own the rights to it. And of course, the odds of the actual copyright owner stepping in is pretty low. Double Tauros. So maybe that's part of it. I remember this happening a lot back in the day. Chief, how you been? It's been a while. How you doing, lad? You know me, rambling about something that makes no sense, even when, if I was to, like, write it down and try and, like, piece it together in some kind of intelligent way. The current thing is copyright strikes, because I'm afraid this song is going to get me. You know what? You know what? I don't like Skip. This is a great track, but we're just going to do it. I'm thinking, I think Castlevania might have to come off the playlist, which is, you know, soul destroying. That sucks so much. Been well, just working a lot. Yeah, it is. It's a busy time. We're all working. You ready for the big 9K? We're gonna hit the big 9,000 pocket monsters. This one playing Breath of the Wild for the first time on the Switch 2. Your old channel used to upload music and then it got taken down. Well, I'm glad you were doing a public service, hosting those songs. That's good. Unfortunate you got taken down. I have a lot of knowledge about game ripping. Well, that's good. I know, I used to be heavily involved in Mario World ROM hacking. In that sphere, there's a whole lot of what they refer to as ports, meaning they would take a song from a different game and just convert it into something that'll work in Mario World's engine. So you get very familiar with like a whole bunch of soundtracks that are, I don't know, just part of the zeitgeist, part of the gamer style that a lot of people know of, even if they're games you haven't even played. Yeah, no, we saw a shiny Tauros. 3DS is the worst console to rip. That's interesting. I assume it would be like Game Boy Advance or N64 because they don't have any sound hardware, but maybe 3DS also doesn't have any sound hardware. Maybe the DS doesn't either. Yeah, I can't, like, that Tauros, I'm kind of glad because it convinced me that I need to, like, get a camera and start doing this, you know, how we have the camera. Yeah, SPC files. And then the sound samples were like BNK files, if you want to use samples. I think there's also like RST. Wasn't there RST files was another Super Nintendo sound format? Am I mistaken? That sounds familiar. That sounds correct. Yeah, that's what we should start doing for streams, is just use SPC 7000 and a bunch of old Mario ports. Yeah, BNKs, I remember now. It's all coming back to me. Dabbling in the arts. I was never actually involved in, like, ripping music. I was just a user of other people's songs. And every now and then, if something was broken, you might have to look at it and make adjustments to make it work. .rst is a save state for a game. Okay. I wonder why I'm getting that confused. Oh, okay. Gonna go get some water. Is the encounter rate normally this high? Can you use a white flute? I am using a white flute, believe it or not. Ta-da. Is the encounter rate normally this high? Yes, you can white flute. We are white flute and illuminate right now. Oh, this is a funny song. Yeah, so this is a repel trick, so we have slightly reduced encounter rate, but it's still very serviceable. What have you seen and caught in Hoenn? Well, I'm glad you asked, lad. Check this out. I'm like a real streamer now. Watch this. I just press a button. Whoa, the layout changed. So we'll roll with this layout for a couple of minutes, just for the comedy. Yeah, not our best track record in Hoenn, but that Mareep is pretty killer. The Mareep is really good. It's also a good nature and has pretty nice IVs, so we might do something with that Mareep. Yeah, isn't it nice? I think the layout looks good. Yeah, 4 emeralds. So I have 3, but because of a hunt that I was doing before Safari Week, Safari Month, Safari Summer, a friend of mine was letting me borrow his Japanese emerald because I was doing a magnet pole trick for a magneton. So he said, "Yeah, I can borrow his emerald," and I'm still been holding on to it. I don't know, when he was here last, he didn't even bring it up, so I should remind him. You want a shiny earth ring? Yeah, that'd be really good. Oh yeah. Alright, let's swap back. Yes, then we have The Safari South, which this is like obviously outdated. We're missing the Mareep and the what's the other one? Yeah, Teddy Ursa. Then we have this one, which is for Chansey, and I haven't even started hunting here. This one, um, Chansey will show up on the little Chansey. Please. Oh my god. What is happening? It's all blue. All blue sprites. There we go, Chansey. Thought I was losing it. And then we have this one for Safari West, which is where I am right now for the Tauros. The last two phases were Teddy Ursa, and before that was Lediba. How many? What's your catch track record? Oh my god. And it's right before we run out anyways. Okay, you know what? Sorry, didn't mean to hit the camera. You know, I guess that probably isn't as disorientating because it's not the full frame of the video, you know what I mean? It's like you still have the border to stabilize what you're looking at. Whereas like if you're watching like a phone stream and someone drops their phone, you do not keep track. Well, like which ones did you catch though? Like did you, was it a bunch of successes? It's been a couple of months. Okay. Double Psyduck. Look at him. Look at that guy. Yeah, I started this Safari arc because we're doing Safari Summer around here. We're not just 1 week. Apparently at the end of May. The end of May was when I started doing this. Which is why I have quite a number of phases already. Oops. Planning on Analog Pocket, so even if they flee, I'm keeping them. But only the Lediba fled. Okay. Yes, you can find Pinsir and Scyther. That's correct. Last year, I actually failed a Scyther. He got away from me. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I had a feeling that's what you meant for the Analog Pocket. I do kind of want to learn the trick with the Pokeblock thing in Hoenn because you can sort of like trap a Pokemon so it can't leave, and then you can throw as many balls as possible. Yeah. But it's really not that bad because like 2 or so months before that, I had just done Game Corner Scyther. So while it definitely sucks to see it flee, it didn't hurt as bad. Found a shiny Apom, then went and got a Pocket like a week later at the game store. Apom forced your hand. Apom works for Analog. Okay, like Tauros is sticking around tonight. Whenever I throw rocks, Tauros is not taking off as often. Maybe it's a sign that we do rock the shiny Tauros. Oh, I don't know if I can do that though. I don't know about that. I keep going back and forth on the idea. Because on English games, and this is exclusive to English, there is a bait trick. That you can use bait and kind of trap a Pokemon that way. But that does not work on the Japanese games. Isn't this like a 20-minute song? Why did I put this on the main playlist? This goes on for another 5 minutes. You know, Doom 2 has a good soundtrack. And I kind of like the more low-key feeling to a track like this. Mm-hmm. Oops. We're tricking this dodo. Just have your little snack. Alright, get out of here. That's 2 Tauros. Let's try again. uh, oh yeah. I think my last shiny in OG hardware was my Rayquaza in a luxury ball. I prepped with 200 luxury balls, and he caught in the 6th ball, and he was adamant. I really want to get him some ribbons. That sounds like a hell of a shiny, lad. That's a really good one. Adamant and like a matching ball? Yeah, what are some of your other cool finds, Beef? I wonder if we should do a bit of Devil's Tower tonight. Oh my gosh, the rock strat is working. Tauros is just not afraid of the rocks. T-Tower was my first encounter with the species. You found like a shiny Larvitar your very first time ever seeing it? That's kind of insane. But you said tar. Maybe is it the tar from Colosseum? That'd be sick too. Which to me, that sounds like such a nightmare hunt. I don't think I ever will be able to do some of the harder Colosseum hunts. Yep, yeah, you got the, or I guess I'll just wait for you to write out. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That's insane. First larv is the little green one. Or kind of yellow. It's like sort of green. So, if you were unaware, in competitive Generation 3, referred to as ADV, or Gen 3 OU, Tyranitar is the #1 Pokemon. He's the most central Pokemon to that entire format. Largely because of the fact that when he hits the field, he summons sand, and nobody else can summon weather. So everyone else who wants to do a weather strategy is going to need to dedicate a move to it. And another like blessing, another super big benefit of sand is that a lot of like stally strategies are disincentivized because everybody is taking sand chip. You know, unless you're a rock type or a steel type. So some Pokemon get to heal in the sand, whereas others, if you take damage, you're never going to heal past that point with leftovers. So sand is like super crucial to that format. And it's thanks to Tar. It's all because Tar summons sand. Now Tar's really strong in his own right, but sand is like his signature. And I quite like Generation 3 competitive. It's very fun, even if at times it's also annoying and, well. I think every competitive game is that way. Let's have a shiny Kyogre and Swampert I got within 2 days. That's kind of nuts to get him so fast. I quite love my shiny Kyogre. Now, I am pals with quite a few RNG manip guys. They know how to do, that. How to make a Pokemon have good IVs. But whenever I catch a shiny Pokemon and it happens to have really good IVs, something about that just feels a little bit more special. And my Kyogre's a case like that, where he's modest and I think has a 28 in special attack, or like a 26. He has something stupidly good. Like near max, nearly the highest a Kyogre can ever reach. Actually, I can check. I think I have it on PK Hex right here. Yep. Open Audacity. Exactly what I wanted. Yeah, and we have perfect defense. I always forget how good this guy is. Sure. Oh yeah, of course. I'm just the best at streaming. I never do things by accident that are like a slight inconvenience for a little bit. Kyo. There we go. I hope that's not too small to read. Yeah, that's my shiny Kyogre. I wish that there was more stuff I could use him in, though, because he's banned from the frontier. However, he's not banned in the Coliseum stuff. In Coliseum, there's like a post-game, mode with a bunch of challenges. You can use a Kyogre if you wish. Oh man, YouTube, I'm getting sick of your shit. See, there's a thing that says chat rate. It tells me that there are messages, but the chat doesn't update. At one time, I was streaming and it did this for like an hour and a half. I had like finished EV training Eggy, and I was like, man, no one's around tonight. Oh, that's lame. And then I refreshed once, and then everyone appeared. YouTube, please. Wow, that's a really strong Kyogre, and I totally feel that. I wish I could use Ray more. Yeah, exactly. Like, Coliseum. You can use them in Coliseum, which is cool. It's very tempting. I don't own a GameCube. Game Corner Dragonite, and that was your first Gen 3 shiny. That's a pretty swag one to start with. Alright, let's remove you. Did that... Are we good? I think we're good. Okay. Yeah, Dragonite's a good one. I quite like Dragonite. Now that is a game I would like to make a video about. I'm not sure if it would be a playthrough or video, but Yoshi's Island is a game that means a whole hell of a lot to me. Alright, rock strat. One double flea. Now is not the time to rock. Want my Gen 3 shinies next month in my pocket and send them to the Soul Silver so I can walk around with them. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Cloning them is really not that hard to do, so I do that just to have a level 50 and a level 100 version, so that I can use them in different Frontier facilities at level 50 and at level 100. Alright, you know what, Chief? Next rock is going to be the deciding factor. Whether we trust the rock strat or we don't use it. I might have ran away from a Tauros before seeing that. And now Tauros is nowhere to be seen. Yep. Yeah, if you're over 50, okay, this one. We're going to rock this one. And it's on Adol. It's on Lucky Fire Red. And he flees. That's a bad omen, I would say. And Tauros is back on another game. Okay, maybe it's a little late. Hmm. Yeah, if you're over level 51, you can't compete in the level 50 bracket. However, if you have Fire Red, if you have a copy of Fire Red, there are some glitches you can do that would allow you to lower a Pokemon's level. So, if you do have a Pokemon that's over level 50 and you want to try and get him back under, there is a little bit of dark magic you can do to do that. Chief, you can't heal this much power. Look, it's not falling on your shoulders. I definitely am capable. One, running into the damn Pokemon, but two, deciding what to do. Oh my gosh. Repel just runs out for everyone. Yeah. Look up the what's the glitch to get started? It's the like a recycle mail glitch. Yeah, I guess the mail glitch. If you set up the mail glitch, you can set up arbitrary code. So then you can write stuff in your boxes, your box names. You can write like a bunch of garbage text, but it'll correspond to certain things. Like there's better guides out there that can explain it easier. But I have used this glitch before. I've used it to take my Dusclops. I found a shiny Dusclops in the Sky Pillar, but wild Dusclops are like level 54, so he can't compete in the level 50 brackets. So using this glitch in Fire Red, I made him under level 50, and then he got to compete, which was a lot of fun. You know, of course, it's dubiously legal. If your plan is to move them up to the later gens, that would probably not fly. I'm actually not sure how the new games check legality. Yeah, it was fun. I did a stream of it, actually. Somewhere on my channel, there's the Dusclops stream. That stream, I'm realizing how like bad that stream was. Because Dusclops is like very stally, a very slow-paced Pokemon in the Battle Tower. And I decided to use him in the Battle Tower after he was EV trained. And it was like over half the stream. They're going to be parked in Gen 4? Alright, then you're definitely in the clear. Oh, I hate this. This is a song I like, but I know it might get me copyrights. Yeah, I may be removing Castlevania from the playlist next time. Yeah, God Hand would be fun. It's like a hilarious game just to witness, even if you're not playing, just to watch it is super fun. So I think it might be a fun game for a playthrough. I'm just so rusty on that game, and God Hand is brutal. The game is so difficult. But it's like, it's funny. The art style and the animations, I think, are really appealing. It may be a little too long, though. I can't imagine. It would probably be 20 parts. Well, maybe. But also editing that would be, like, simultaneously easier and harder. It would be a lot easier to do sort of like hypercuts of, and here's a spot where I died, and here's a spot where I died, and then here's the, yeah, that's how you do it. You do like the initial entrance to the level, you do all the spots where you die in the level, and then you just do the cut where you finally beat it. Yeah, that makes sense. I'd have to see how it looks recorded, because it's a PlayStation 2 game, and most PS2 games are running at 480i, which does not always translate that well to video. I think Coliseum was 480i, though. It might have been 480p. No, I had interlace problems with it. I did something. Something to make Coliseum watchable. Cool. Alright, Tauros. How are you feeling about The Rock? Split? Hmm. Excuse me. Yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out. I know these are not the most high energy streams, and there's not a whole lot to say about it. Just gotta grind encounters. Was anyone around? Chief, were you in Riley's stream today? I only saw a little bit of it. So I'm curious how he did that, because normally he does like Battle Factory streams, and I'm curious how his shiny hunting stream went. But he's also got like a lot more people in his thing, so he'd probably have like a constant string of things to discuss. Oh my god. One moment. How stormy is it out there? It's not stormy. Has been insane weather though, alternating between intense heat and then thunderstorms. Oops, getting sloppier. Wonder what I'd do for a Venomoth. Probably just throw balls. Where is Tauros? Where is he? The eggs, they're back. Fill the screen. 4 eggs. So I think baby Nido is more rare. If I recall, the little one is less common. But also has like a way easier catch rate. Oops. Oh, you guys are all really close together. Yeah, let's get the repel out of the way. He's the last Tauros standing. How do you feel about a rock? Alright. Fine. Yeah, this game, Leon, it has found very few shinies. But it has found Shelder, which Shelder's a really cool one. I love my Shelder. I guess he's a Cloyster now, he's evolved. Can't really think of anything else Leon has found. I think it found one of the Poliwags. I have to take a look at some point. Oops, getting all mixed up. 9,800. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Eventually you do reach like a sort of zen when you're doing encounters like this. You don't realize how many you're actually doing, how many you've done at that point. You just get into the flow. The eggs again? I think we've seen enough of the eggs, personally. Maybe we've had enough of execute. Though if one of them wants to turn gold, I'm not exactly going to be upset. Oh my god. And then we see 4 of the bird. It's like the games are taunting me, knowing, oh yeah, these are the commons. These are the common Pokemon you are going to run into a bunch of times. We know you're here for the rare one, but check out these common guys. Ah, geez, move the camera. I'm gonna check on it. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm certain this thing has like a zoom or some other features. I could make the video quality even more accurate. But right now we're still like getting over the hump of white balance. Trying to make it viewable in like such a dark room. Which I'm finding is like way more successful. I tried recording once with the lights on, and it's like just kind of hard to see the games. Having the dark surrounding the screen really does contrast it perfectly. Stuck in the corner. Double Kanga. Might be the first time that's happened tonight. Those are 1%. Ultra rare. That's kind of how I think about the Safari. Is that each room has a rare, and then it has like a super rare. So when you're in the first room, when you enter Safari, Scyther or Pinsir is the rare, but then there's like a super low Chansey. Kanto this time? Yeah, I've kind of had my fun with Hoenn, to be honest. I might go back next year, but yeah. 4 phases, 3 fails. We got a nice Mareep, though. This, let me swap over real quick. Balco, this is our track record for... It's a little easier. Oh, yeah, that works. So we failed 3 and saved 1. And then in Kanto, we failed 3 and caught 4, which is pretty killer. And Tauros is my target anyways. Tauros is the Pokemon I want to catch shiny the most of the Safari roster. I think this is our first time hitting 5 digits on stream. It is probably not the last time. Oh, actually, yeah, I should see. How does this look? I have to wait for the stream to catch up. Yeah, Nidorann's pretty close to that one. I kind of like it. I kind of like it squished in very close to the number. We're going to leave it. Oh, goodness. I'm falling asleep, and I can't be falling asleep because I gotta go drive in a little bit. Stream's at 3 hours. It's 10:30. Let's see if I can make it to 500. The double Tauros. Back again. I should have thrown rocks. Whatever. Well, one of them came straight back. This one wanted to answer the rock question. He doesn't mind rocks. What? Oh. They should make a repel that doesn't run out unless you decide to, like, use it again. That'd be nice. It's honestly a very funny coincidence that in Fire Red, there seem to be so many cool repel tricks you can do across the map. But also in Fire Red, the message that tells you your repel has run out, that message can be dismissed with the D-pad. I think it can be dismissed with every button, but If you're just holding left and that message pops up, it stays there for like just a few frames and then disappears because, oh, you were pressing left, which counts as a button to remove the message. And it's very frustrating, actually. I wish that you had to press a different button to get rid of it, because I know I'm eventually just going to take an extra step and run into a Pokemon that I was trying to repel trick to avoid. Mm-hmm. And very strange. So there wasn't a problem in Ruby or in Emerald. Oh, see, I think it was a little fast there. See, I was a little too fast there, too. You really don't have long for that message to be on screen. I remember Motive one time was showing me his, see, like this. As soon as I press any button, just immediately dismissed. Motive was doing the roamers in Gen 3. And one trick you can use is to lower your text speed. But the trade-off is in every fight, it would be slower, announcing the Pokemon, announcing you threw out yours, and then announcing you got away safely. So the slower text might be better for a roamer, but when you're encountering tons of text boxes with Pokemon, it may not be. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna make it to 10,500. I'm starting to feel pretty tired. We might stream tomorrow. I'm not sure at this time. So if I am, I'm gonna do the schedule thing on YouTube, but I don't know at this time. Hopefully. Because if I can't tomorrow, I doubt I'm going to be able to during the rest of Safari week. It probably won't be until sometime next week I'll have times where I can stream. But I do want to find a Kanto Shiny on stream. And I probably am going to be doing this until August. Yeah, let's get to 300. That's basically the same thing. Hunting along with you is fun. Hope you have a good night. Yeah, I appreciate you stopping by. I really did appreciate your comment today, lad. It was very nice. I'm glad that someone is enjoying these silly idiot videos I'm making that are not that good, but it's fun. It's fun being able to share my Gen 3 misadventures. But yeah, I appreciate you stopping by though, and best of luck on Trapinch. Trapinch and Houndor. Where's 2? There's 2. Double Tauros. Ran away from one. Whoops. Well, the other ran. That's it. It all works out. And he's right back. And he's back again. Yeah. These are supposedly 6%, but we're seeing a lot of Tauros. Whole lot of the bull. The worst overworld theme of any game. Yep. That's the stuff. Alright, lads. This is it. Final encounter of the night. What do we got? What could it be? Just the eggs. What? Okay, we'll do one more. Just, you know, for fun. There we go. That's the last encounter of tonight. Well, the bull was here. And if I found a shiny Tauros and threw a rock, what would have happened? He would have stayed. Well, I suppose we'll have to keep that in mind. Yeah, I appreciate anyone who came by. I know these streams are not too so exciting, but it's fun being able to hang out and potentially a stream tomorrow. So hopefully I will see you guys then.